All right, yeah. So I got this shitty lighting because I had something I want to talk to the MGTOW I'm in about. Now this is my mode. I got shitty fucking light. I don't even know where to fucking hold this. Fuck it, that looks good right there. So I got um I mean I really don't like Facebook anymore, but I got on Facebook, right? And I like a fucking idiot holding this shit. So I got on Facebook and I got to look at some kind of way I scrolled through like okay, I'm 33, right? So this is what happens at 33. You start scrolling through and start seeing, and let's make it clear. So if anybody has any misconception of what I'm going to say, this is 100% clear. When you start hitting 30, well, okay, in my age bracket, when the internet caught on all that shit like that, when you start hitting 30 and you went off to college and graduated college and traveled the world, and then you go on Facebook and you start seeing these washed up fat bitches with 4 kids by 18 different men. This shit is like fucking comedy gold. Like, scroll through this shit. Now, okay, now, and I think this is probably where like me and Big Town do get along because it is funny looking at this shit. Because and this is why I say, man, remember how they treated you when you was 19, right? Like when you was 19, they fucking wouldn't piss on fire to put you out. Now they 30, been ran through by every thug on the street corner with 15 babies and stuck in a little call center job and can't get out this shit. And now they on Facebook. Oh, I think I found my one true love after she's been ran through by 18 different men. Like this shit is fucking like it's comedy. All right, I'm gonna lose lighting for a minute because I gotta read this dumbass shit. It says one man's I'm not ready is another man's I knew the moment I saw her. Okay, now rewind that and play in this. I'll read it one more time for you. This is the name of the article that this one washed up bitch put on that I knew from high school. I mean, I knew of her, but friends of mine fucked with her. I never even touched her, but I know who she is. She posted something said, one man's I'm not ready is another man's I knew the moment I saw her. Okay, now in responsible adult talk, that means um one man's I recognize you're a washed up piece of shit is another man's I'm a punk ass bitch. I'll marry you because you paid me a little bit of attention. This shit is fucking ridiculous. It's fucking unbelievable. So, okay, this shit, like, see, let me tell you something. See, and that's why that this is exactly why I named this women are like for real, like women are creatures of opportunity. Okay, I tell you what. Okay, now matter of fact, I tell you a perfect example. I went to the gym last night, right? I went driving across town. I drive a BMW, and I'm in the middle of fucking shitty ass loser fucking Ohio for the moment until I could get shit straight. And then I'm back over, and then I'm back off to Europe as soon as I get this shit straight. Now the only reason I came back was my driver's license was getting ready to expire. Fucking my flat, I was just fucked up, so I had to get my flat back together, my driver's license back together, and then I'm giving myself at max 6 months, and I'm just fucking flying. I'm leaving this shit. But so I'm here, right? So I'm driving my BMW. You know what I'm saying? It's nice. I'm chilling, driving up the street, and like these girls pull up in this Jeep next to me. They check out, and I watch them. They check out the car first. Then they look at the dude inside and start fucking mean mugging the shit out of me, like staring, like hoping I just fucking say something, man. Like, because that's what they are, man. Like they're creatures of opportunity. And now the thing is, like, I can accept it because because I know what the Western culture is like. Western culture pretty much tells bitches that well, as long as I got a vagina, I'm entitled to something. And then that's what they all just kind of instinctively go by. And this is what men are stuck with in America, and they think that they have to deal with this shit. They think this is the norm. You see what I'm saying? And if you say anything out against it, then you're speaking of straight blasphemous shit. Like you might as well be saying God ain't shit at this point to them because they're so afraid. Like they've been beaten down. Like in the previous video when I talked about Superman, when he got picked up by the Luthers instead of the Kents in that alternate universe, and they raised him to be a beat up punk ass bitch. They just raised to be punk ass bitches, so they think this shit's normal. But man, this shit is unbelievable. Okay, I go into reading more, and my lighting is fucked up. Whatever. It says I turned to him, my boyfriend, The man I expected to marry, he looks disengaged. He murmured. See, now this is where you know they send it to it's like the editor, because like average bitches don't even know what murmured means. Better yet, how to spell murmured. You know what I'm saying? They barely know how to spell feminism. The only reason they know how to spell feminism is because they done fell off the fucking wagon and hit and smacked that wall head on. So that they need an excuse for why they didn't get the same treatment. But let's go. He murmured, That's the thing. I've been thinking about it, and I don't want to ever get married." Now, this is something that women and men got to realize, okay? And it's different. Now, see, women, okay, when it comes to I don't okay, let's say a man's equivalent of "I don't ever want to get married" is a woman's equivalent of I don't want to be throat fucked by you." You see what I'm saying? Like what that man is really saying is I don't want to marry you. You see what I'm saying? Just like when a woman says, "I don't want to be throat fucked, I don't want to be ran through on the fucking in a back alley." What she's saying is, "I don't want to be ran through by in a back alley by you." There's another dude, and she probably knows the motherfucker's first name and last name, and home address and everything, and it's not you. You see what I'm saying? So let's go deeper. This shit is fucking ridiculous. So the dude says, "I know you want to get married, but I need more time." Okay, the motherfucker don't want to marry you, man. Because you watch. Because okay, I could tell she washed up because in the first fucking picture, she's sitting up with two fucking babies. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody want you. You washed up piece of shit. Okay. I felt bamboozled as he attempted to explain why he never wanted to be married ever. See, women don't understand men wanting to be married no more than why average men don't understand why bitches don't want to do sexually what they want them to do at the moment. That's a huge disconnect from what I see. Um, so pretty much led the bitch on and said, "Wow, she said, so wow, so you want a long term girlfriend?" I asked. See, the reason why she even asked something. See, okay, this is where I try to educate the MGTOW men because I feel like MGTOW men are like stuck in this rut of depression, but you have to accept it and move on. See, now like this is a fucking joke. Like I'm gonna be laughing reading this shit after I turn this video off because I'm gonna be in tears laughing, like screaming, yelling, crying, laughing because it's funny to me because I've fully outgrown it. You see what I'm saying? But you see, okay, the only and this goes for every fucking woman. See, look, this is something like you really have to realize about women. Like they're creatures of opportunity. You see, the only time they trying to get married and they trying to be like loyal to one man. See, there's a reason for that. Now, sometimes you might get and you might get lucky. Now, and what I define as lucky is you might come across that woman who has daddy issues and she wants to keep a man around, or you may come across that woman who genuinely wants a husband to lead her. Now, in Western societies, that's not very common, but it still happens. But for the overwhelming majority, the only time they let women, females in these westernized, modern, feminist countries learn how to fucking become at least halfway decent for a temporary period of time is when they want something. Okay. And the only time they want something is when they can't have it. And what does that equal? When they start hitting 30, 32, 33 and above, and they start getting fat and they can't, and they know they can't keep up with the rest of these girls. So now they're going to try to, link up with the last fucking loser who worshiped their pussy. That's the fucking reality. That is the reality. Okay, now for the MGTOW man, you have to know this, accept it, and then grow and laugh at this shit, and then just start tossing them around like old fucking worn out matches when you smoking a cigarette. Because that's all the fuck they worth for real in the whole scheme of things. So let's keep going. So, wow, so you want a long term girlfriend? The girl asked. In a perfect world, yes, he bluntly replied. Yeah, because, okay, look, that's man talk for I want to fuck you when I get horny and throw you the fuck away when I'm done with you. Okay. How do we get here? I asked myself. And how dare he ruin my favorite show like that? Okay, whatever, bitch. I thought in disgust, though I can't laugh out loud about it. Now, let me be clear. This was a real concern. Well, that's not what I want, and I won't sign up for that. I rebutted. which I could man, I could tell by, but from the picture and what she's going through, she don't even know how to spell rebutted. This went straight to an editor, and the editor spelled rebutted for her. Okay, let's go. Okay. At that moment, I knew I was worth far more than staying with a person who didn't foresee a future with me. I made up my mind and I was done with him. See, this is where women are great at manipulating. See, now I can tell you exactly how this went down. She's not in control, okay, but when it gets to a point where she knows other people are watching her, she's gonna make it sound like she's in control. Okay. She would have still cooked his food and made his Kool-Aid and sucked his dick that night. Be 100% confident in that. See, this is where women are master manipulators over men who aren't aware of this shit. Blah blah blah. I didn't cry. I didn't miss him. Yeah, she cried and she missed him. She probably, drank herself to death with 3 bottles of wine at night. I made a conscious decision to become the person I wanted for myself. I made time to invest love and learn about myself. Yeah, see, it's real funny yeah, see, when they're fat, old, with 3 kids by 8 different men, now they want to learn and love themselves. You see, do you see the moral consistency in them? Like, it's so fucking hilarious. It's so funny. I can't even laugh, honestly, because I feel the laugh coming up, but it is so pathetic. And I've heard the story so many times, I can't even do it. I've heard the story in so many times in so many different languages. I can't even laugh now because it's just, this is ridiculous. This is her. If y'all can see her, that's her. She's not ugly as fuck, but I tell you what, you take her to any capital city, and she definitely won't be the top 5 pick out of anybody. Okay, maybe in these little small ass hillbilly fucking Ohio towns, somebody still may look at her and be like, I should inquire. But you take her ass to fucking Santa Monica, oh, she would. You take her to Santa Monica, she would drink herself into suicide because nobody looked at her. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So later, I went on solo dates to fancy restaurants, traveled alone, gave myself permission and space to flourish. See, now, and that goes to what I said in the previous video. See, whenever women start traveling alone, that's a clear sign that they're fucked up. Never fuck a woman who's traveled alone in the world, ever. Every situation I've ever seen of that, and I've been traveling for a while. Every situation I've ever seen of any woman who travels alone is severely fucked up, and that is her way of subliminally crying to the world, "I'm fucked up. Somebody save me." But see, the reality of it is, I'm gonna go on a rant about this. The reality of it is, see, by the time women gain that much independence, there's no going back off of it. So they've become so independent, there's no space for any man in her life other than, let's say, a billionaire. But at that point, I mean, a billionaire, millionaire, like that next level man who can get anything he fucking wants. So she inevitably kind of gets lost into the void of every man that wants me, I don't want him, and every man I want, they don't want me. So I'll just write these bullshit articles to try to save my self-esteem. Okay. This is I learned to block out chatter from negative people who complain about the lack of available black men and the inferior status of the dating pool. I remain hopeful about love and staying focused in God. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, look, man. See, this is another manipulation tactic that women use. Whenever they dive in the race, okay, this is the immediate fucking. This is the point where every and any male should tune out. OUT. Whenever she gets into this whole, well, white men do this, black men do this, and see, no. The second you hear that, I don't care if she's a KKK supremacist, if she's a Black Panther supremacist, if she's a fucking Japanese Nazi supremacist, which that shit's real, by the way. Google it. If she's on any of that shit, immediately just walk away. Whenever women get into these groups of people who start singling out one people, you are much, trust me on this, you are 1,000 times better off just walking away and just completely ignoring her existence and let her rot in her own flesh until she just fucking dies in a house full of cats, or some punk ass bitch who's following her just for the slight chance he might get some pussy out of her. Point blank. That's what it is. So yeah, focus on God, blah blah blah, and all this shit. Okay, so it looks like okay, so she did find a punk ass bitch. This amazing man, my husband. Whenever tells my side of the story, he always begins with declaring that he knew I would be his wife from the very first moment he laid eyes on me. Okay, see, look, like okay, let me tell you. Okay, when a woman hits over, I say 20. Personally, my standards are when a woman hits over 25, right? She has to be very special. Something about her has to be abnormally special and amazing for me to look at her and say, yeah, I'd marry her. If there wasn't any other type of subtract all the ulterior motives that I may have at the time, blah blah blah. Because let's be okay, and this is a reality that every woman knows. Every woman knows this 1,000%. You see, but they try to get mad at men when they acknowledge it vocally. Okay, once they get pretty much above, personally, I say above 25, they are no longer genuinely desirable. It's see, once they get above 25, now you got to play this whole game of, well, I like her because it makes up for that, and and you start falling into that category of a video I made previously of becoming that guy. You know, that guy. Well, at least I get pussy though, and you completely lose all your fucking standards in life, and you're just like, and you know, you're just pretty much selling out for a warm body. Which some man that's cool if that works for you, fine. Personally, man, like I'd rather I would much rather sit at home and read the three books I'm going through now, which is one is The Idiot by I might pronounce this wrong, Dostoevsky, uh Nietzsche, The Portable Nietzsche. I don't even have to say know how to say his name, but he's a philosopher and this shit's fucking gangster. And Alan Watts going over Eastern culture. I would much rather read that shit and play video games and drink scotch instead of fucking deal with all that side bullshit. You got to deal once they get over 25, man. They're every and see the thing is what I'm trying to say. Every woman knows they really know what I'm saying is true, okay? But they get mad when people say it out loud because they know it's true. They're not desirable. After 25, it's gonna be this. That's the end of this shit because this because she's so fucking ridiculous. I'm even gonna pay this bitch no more attention. Let me turn on the flashlight. Okay, after 25, man, like it pretty much it pretty much ends up becoming I want a baby, I want a dream life that I see in movies all these years, and I feel like I can't since I'm getting older, these younger girls are going to steal it from me. Three, um, I'm just aging and nobody's going to want me. You see what I'm saying? Like there's a reason, and the reality of it is like it's so funny because as men, when we were 19, we were pretty much the equivalent. Like we were trying, like we were so desperate, it was pretty much funny to them. Like, but then when we hit 30 and they hit 30, like that tide changes, and you just look at them, and at best you can do like once you fully outgrow it and you realize it and you know what's going on, you don't even get mad at it. It's just fun. It's just so funny that they genuinely think that they're worth something anymore. Like, but they don't see that they are what we were when we were 19. Like they can't see it because like they never had to see. And I think that's where we kind of grow stronger than them is because we had to learn much in a much more tougher, if that's even a right word, in a much more difficult environment than they did. We were pretty much just thrown on a battlefield with a BB gun and told to survive. You know what I'm saying? But when they make that same battlefield, they walking out there with one sandal and you know what I'm saying? With one sandal and a paper clip talking about survive. And they just so fucked up. They just can't even like but when they hit 30 and all that shit start hitting them, they just so lost and dumbfounded. Like they can't even get it. They don't even know what see. But when we hit 30, see, we went out there and we survived with that BB gun. And by the time we hit 30, oh, the BB gun might as well be a rocket launcher at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like for how hard that tide turns and all this shifts, all of it shifts. Oh, it's no contest. But yeah, man, like It's unbelievable, man. Like so nonetheless in MGTOW, man, because this is who these videos are for, man. Like, okay, before I said if you can't look a beautiful woman in her eyes and tell her no and walk off and genuinely not give a fuck about it, you're not ready to date any woman on the planet. Okay. And this is another part I end this off with. If you can't Okay, maybe okay, if you lived in your hometown from 18 to 30, or let's say like me, you ran around the world and you came back at 30 and seen these, them same bitches who was 10, who was nines and tens, working in the back of some raggedy bar, coming out handing you some food with a dirty ass apron on. Okay, and you can't look at that shit and just start busting out laughing with no regard for their feelings. You ain't ready to date them either. You ain't ready to date women either. Okay, you got to get to that point where bitches are fucking funny. You know what I'm saying? You're not mad anymore. It's just this shit is like it's so hilarious at this point. You see, that's where I'm going. I'm out, man.